Alright, so this will be part 2 to what if female deku was Tanjiro. Now, I'm going to talk about a comment I got in the last video on one of you saying that Tanjiro has the see-through world. I will give her that. I will give her the see-through world, don't worry. It's just going to be later in the story. I don't want to give it to her immediately off the bat. She will gain it, don't worry. Also, I'll check the comments, see if I got a name, and if not, I'll just go look for a name. So I'll do that right now. Alright, here's the name by Wolf Spider. Now I thank you for telling me that you don't have a good understanding of the Japanese language, neither do I. But I think it's Ryori, I think. Yeah, Ryori. So her name will be Ryori Kamado. So we shall begin where we last left off, where she was entering to UA with her. We'll pick up where we were in the auditorium, where President Mike was talking about the pointer robots with the 0 pointers. The 0 pointer, no, not the 0 pointers, the 1 pointers, the 2 pointers, and the 3 pointers. And then Ida jumps up and asks about the fourth robot, the 0 pointer, as President Mike then talks about that, saying that the 0 pointer is more of an obstacle rather than something, so you'll get no points for defeating it. As Ryori gets to the training area, as she does have a sword with her. The Ida states that weapons aren't allowed in the entrance exam, as Ryori tells Ida that it's a part of her quirk, so she can't really use her quirk without it. Now, obviously she's lying, as breathing techniques aren't a quirk, but she has to say that so that she doesn't get pointed out. Now, Zenitsu and Inosuke are quirkless as well. They also have their breathing techniques. So Zenitsu has his thunder breathing, and hold on. I thought that thing. Inosuke and Zenitsu have their breathing techniques. So Inosuke with his beast breathing, and Zenitsu with his thunder breathing. As the exam would begin with Ryori charging in, as she would begin to use her water breathing. She would be using second and fourth forms of water breathing, and sometimes switch to the Hinokami Kagura, with her getting a high amount of villain points and a high amount of hero points, as she would end up with very high points on the scoreboard. I don't know how many points exactly. I'll suggest say 130. As she would be dealing with the robot, as she would see that the girl trapped under the rubble, as she would charge forward and use water breathing tense form, constant flux, as she manages to sever the robot's arm, as she gets Uraraka out of the rubble, as she would then finish off the robot with water-breathing fifth form, Blessed Rain After the Drought, as the robot's head would gently fall off, as the robot would collapse, with the exam being over. As Ryori would be in, well, her rebuilt house, as she would get a letter in from UA stating that she got in and that she is the first quirkless person to make it into Class 1A and a hero course, as All Might would welcome her to her hero academia. As over the next couple weeks for UA to start, she's been training with her breathing and eventually mastering total breathing constant. As she also sometimes when she looks at a person, she can sometimes see the blood flow and muscle contractions and lungs compressing, as she would have small glimpses into the see-through world. But it's not full blown. She can see into the see-through world yet. As she would then arrive at UA the following week, as she would make it to Class 1A, as when she'd open the door, she'd see Kat. Now, in this timeline, Bakugo doesn't exist, so I'm replacing Bakugo with Inosuke, and Denki with Zenitsu. So those two in this timeline don't exist, is just Inosuke and Zenitsu. So Inosuke would be arguing with Ida, as he would see Ryori, as he would say, you're the one who got first place in the entrance exam. Fight me. As she would give him a weird look, as she would then head to her desk. As she would sit down, she could hear people. She could hear she could hear Jiromina talking about the marking on her forehead, stating that it looks quite cool. As Ida would walk up to her and say his whole thing about her being a superior student to him and all that. As she would thank Ida, but she'd say that she isn't. She just did what anyone else would do. Also, that image you saw a glimpse of earlier, that will be another what if that I have planned. So, if you want to know where that image is from, watch High Rise Invasion. It's really good. As she would eventually, and as she would see Aizawa come up from his sleeping bag and state that it took you all 10 minutes to shut up. Sorry about that. This is heroes. You guys are heroes in training, and all that jazz. As you would then tell them, pull out the gym uniform, and tell them to put them on. And that is where I'm going to end this off. I do hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry if this is bad, not as good as the last part, but it's on short notice. So I'll see you guys next time.